Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I'm talking about the new comics that I picked up this week, week 34 of 2019. All these comics I'm talking about came out on August 21st, 2019. And I actually read a lot of these to talk about. I'm pretty excited. Well, it seems like a really big stack to me because I got multiple variants of a couple of the books in there, but still, the stack of stuff that I read is taller than the stack that I haven't read yet. And I read everything that I could that I'm caught up on. Or, like, actually, a couple of them I'm not caught up on, but they're like a new series, like after a series I'm not caught up that I haven't read all of yet. I'll talk about those in just a second, but yeah, it's a great week for comics. I didn't notice that I got a duplicate of one book, so hopefully I can trade that in for the variant later on, but I will talk about that in a little bit as well. But before I get into these, I wanted to mention that I will be at Colorado Springs Comic Con this weekend, August 24th through 26th. No, 23rd through 25th. Yes, that's what it is. And I'm at booth A65 on the first floor in Artist Alley. And so go to demonjackal.com for more info on that. I have an image there on the next appearing page of the map of the first floor with a little highlight and arrow showing exactly where I am down there. I'm not sure how much the tickets are and all of that, but the show is 3 to 9 on Friday, 10 to 7 on Saturday, and 10 to 5 on Sunday. So come say hello and get some animal art. All the demon animal art things will be available there. So demonjackal.com for more info on all of that. Okay. Speaking of animal art, I'm going to start at the top of the list. The last comic that I read out of this stack is Strayed. Credits Carlos Gaffoni, Wando, Matt Kreutzer. This is I don't really even know anything. I don't think I knew anything about this going into it. I must have just asked for it because I thought the cover was really cool. Because the cover is really cool. We've got this awesome cat on there, and like some celestial cats back behind it and stuff. And yeah, it turns out it's about a cat that has the ability to what is the word for it? It's it's the ability that they use in Men Who Stare at Goats, and like remote viewing, that type of thing. And they have a translator so that they can actually talk to the cat, who's able to do the remote viewing, communicate with, give it its missions and all that kind of thing. And it takes place in space. They're looking for resources on other planets and things like that. And it's some pretty cool stuff. I'm looking forward to reading more of it. I don't want to tell you anything else that happens, because just go check this book out. It is, if you like cats or animals and space and sci-fi, check this out. It's pretty cool. I don't remember what I rated. Everything that I read, I gave between 7 and 9 out of 10 on my CLZ Comics app. I don't remember exactly what I gave everything. I know exactly what I gave Superman Year One. I give that a 9 because it's awesome. I mean, you can't do half stars in that app, or even I would lean a little bit towards a 10 there. But yeah, a 9 or a 10 on that. It was really good. That was the only comic this week that I gave that high of a score. Everything else is like a 7 or an 8. But anyway, up next, Ghost Spider number 1. And I realize now that I should have caught up on this, because this is not a fresh start. It is a fresh start, but it's a renaming of the book, because it's Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. I see now Legacy number 51. So I am far behind on this, but because it's kind of a restart, it all made sense. And we have some people on the cover that are not in this book. Well, one person on the cover that's not in this issue is Miles Morales, but so spoiler, he's not in this issue. Or if he was, I did not notice at all. But anyway, Gwen Stacy, her cover has been blown as Ghost Spider, so she can't get work, she can't get regular jobs, and she can't get into college or anything in her dimension. So she is enlisting the help of Peter Parker of Earth 616, and she goes there because she can go back and forth between the dimensions, no problem, it seems, except her power has some time. It doesn't, her powers don't work for a second when she jumps across. But anyway, it's all in this book. She goes to Earth 616 to attend college there. And I like it so far. It's and I need to go back and read the 5 issues in between that I totally missed. But if you jump right in with Ghost Spider number 1, it'll all make sense anyway. And then you might be intrigued. Oh, I'll check out Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. That run of 10. It's only 10 issues that ran before it restarts again. But anyway, go check that out. That was really good. Another awesome one. Man, it's okay. I've talked about this on other episodes, not the comic book episodes. That sometimes it might seem like I just love all movies or love all comic books that I talk about. And the thing is that I don't really want to waste time watching or reading something that I don't think that I'm going to like. Sometimes I'll take a chance on something. Like in the last episode, I had a feeling I would probably like Blinded by the Light, but that was that's the biggest gamble that I take, is if it's something out of my wheelhouse, but it does catch my attention, then I'll give it a try. And usually following those instincts, it ends up that I'm pretty close to right, that that looks interesting. I might enjoy that, even though I normally wouldn't enjoy that kind of thing. And then I'll end up enjoying it because of that trust my instincts kind of thing. So all of these books I would recommend pretty much, especially the ones that I've read. Like I said, I scored them all 7 or higher out of 10. And really, even stuff that I just I still like could go down to a 5. It'd be I don't regret reading that. I have yet to have purchased and read a book, a comic book. I was maybe I shouldn't have. I should take this back and get my money back or something. I've never thought that. So yeah, just I don't know where I'm going with that. Wonder Woman, Come Back to Me, issue number 2. So this is part 3 and 4 of the story. She's into some weird place where the day is just a few hours long. The daylight, the sun rises and sets, and it's all weird. And there's a gigantic jaguar man that is not interested in eating people because they're just so small. And is wearing a necklace of a jet fighter on there, and then all kinds of stuff happens in this issue that to try to explain. Jonah Hex is there in this weird dimension. There's robots. There's an alien princess. There's Neanderthals with weapons, firearms. It's nuts. But all that stuff is on the cover, so just imagine what's inside. This is one of the few times that I'm usually I'm oh, okay, I'll wait till the next issue to see what happens next. This one is I have to wait till next month. I want to see what other crazy stuff happens, because this is just insane. So check that out. Wonder Woman, Come Back to Me. 2 issues so far. There's at least a third one on the way at some point. Next up, we have Faithless, issue number 5. Compared to the other issues, I didn't really enjoy this one as much. There is some interesting stuff going on in here, but it seemed like it was I don't know, treading water like just a little bit, but the cliffhanger or the lead into the next issue, it looks like the next issue is going to be crazy. So that said, check out this entire run so far. Even though I didn't really enjoy this issue as much, it's still very good. And all the issues before it, and I'm sure the issue after it, issue number 6, will be really worth it. So there you go. Vampirella, issue number 2. Her just in therapy, but her therapist just hates her, it seems like. I can't remember. I already can't remember the specifics of what happens in this issue, but I do really enjoy this book. I did get all 5 of the regular variant covers, so A through E, and I think my favorite one is... Oh, that one is really cool. All 5 of them are really good. But I think the Art Germ one, which is the A cover, is awesome. But maybe a bit too risque, because it is, when you see the cover, you know what I'm saying. But one of the covers, I don't know if this is which letter number. I'm gonna open it up real quick. Let's see. There are all kinds of other variants that are like exclusive to certain stores and stuff like that, but like the Comics Elite exclusive cover is pretty cool. But let's see. The cover that I'm talking about actually doesn't even have Vampirella on it. It is the D cover by Ergen Gundes. And it features a gang of nuns who are fighting the good fight. Kind of thing. Yeah. This from Vampirella, pretty cool. I like it. Up next, Jimmy Olsen. I accidentally got 2 copies of the A cover, and I really want to get the B cover, so hopefully I can trade one of those back in, swap that out. But man, this book is so funny. There's a part where Jimmy is trying to make a video for all of his followers that won't risk destructing a part of the city, things like that, because that was a pretty big problem with what happened in the last issue. And so he's hanging out with Superman, and Superman is revealing his secret powers. And he's doing really stupid stuff, like a card, trying and failing at a card trick, doing like sleight of hand type magic tricks, and things like that. And I think that's my favorite part of this issue. And yeah, I don't know what the Crisis of Infinite Jerks cover, that is not what happens in the book, but whatever. It's really funny, and I'm looking forward to more. I'm so glad that this is a 12 issue series, because if they're all as good as the first 2 have been, that I'm super excited for it. I'm putting these over onto a stack of comics I have not read. I can remember what I've read and not read. Deadpool Annual number 1. This seemed to stand alone pretty well. Deadpool gets enlisted to kill a little... is a little boy? I think it's a little boy or a little girl. A small child enlists his help, writes him a letter asking for him to kill his or her I'm going to open it up and see if it's a boy or a girl. It doesn't really matter which one it is. It's a small child who's having nightmares. And let's see. Oh, it's a boy. Peter Quincy, age 8. Age 8 or 6. It's age 8. Anyway, he gets a letter from Peter Quincy, who is having nightmares, can't sleep, and his parents are always gone. And I won't give it away. It's really good. And it's very funny, but it also gets really dark. And Deadpool ends up being kind of a pretty good guy there in this issue. So check that out. Deadpool Annual #1. It didn't seem to tie into it seemed to be very self-contained. So this is one I'm not caught up on the Deadpool regular book, and I was fine reading this one. I was not lost or anything because it's a completely self-contained story there. So check it out. Check it out. Whether or not you subscribe to Deadpool, this is a good one to pick up. If you do like Deadpool and you don't want to get, catch up on the 15 issues or whatever since it restarted with #1. Did it restart with #1? I think it did. Because they got to 300 and then they restarted, I think. So it's like Legacy #1. Anyway, Marvel, how are they doing the numbers? It's goofy. Blade Runner 2019. What happened in this episode? In this issue. This is the second book that I read out of this week's stuff. So so many. Oh, that's right. She discovers, so our main character, Ash, she discovers that replicants are getting skin surgery, like plastic surgery, so that they look older. So it's reverse of what usual plastic surgery deals will do. And that's pretty cool. And then I'm not going to say what happens at the end of the book. I don't say what happens at the end. I pretty much say what happens at the end of the book. Something happens leading into the next issue. Of course it does. That's how all issues end that go into a next issue, I would hope. But I am enjoying Blade Runner 2019. Then we have Black Mask, Year of the Villain, one-shot. I believe it's a one-shot. I'm not very familiar with Black Mask, the character, but I really like this issue. Is him, just going around stealing people's faces and identities and doing all kinds of stuff that Batwoman catches onto and goes after. And it's all tying into the Year of the Villain with Lex Luthor recruiting all these people and all that. And I have not read the stuff where Lex Luthor has died, which is apparently was the impetus for all of this. Is that the right word for that? I don't know. But apparently he's dead, but he's operating from beyond the grave as a hologram type artificial intelligence thing. And then the last thing that I read, and this is the actual last thing I read, not the what is it? The one with the cats, space cats. What is it called? Where is it? Nope. Strayed. I should have remembered that. I knew it was something an animal does. But Superman Year 1 Book 2. Oh my god. These books are so good. Oh, I loved it. I already said that I would give it a 9 or a 10. So in this issue, we see Clark Kent in the Navy, in boot camp for the Navy, I think it is. And that's such a strange environment to see Superman in, because he is not Superman. He has to rein in all of his powers in every way so that his cover isn't blown. The whole situation is strange, but he ends up falling in love. Maybe I'm getting too far into spoilers. So spoilers. he ends up falling in love with a mermaid from Atlantis, who's the daughter of Poseidon. And Poseidon, oh man, okay. So stuff happens when he's in the military and he gets discharged. And so he doesn't leave out the front gates. He doesn't leave. He jumps over a fence and then walks right into the ocean to go and be with the mermaid that he fell in love with. Her name is, I can't remember what her name is. It's like it's Lori. It was pretty similar to Lois. A mermaid named Lori. And so try to get this back into its sleeve there. I got a store folio for magazines just for Superman Year One and Batman Damned. And I'm just pretty excited for that in general. So these store folios are awesome. I mean, I could see having an even more robust solution that would like super protect your Superman books, but they're solid. They're the best alternative to there's one things from this online service that I really liked, the box that came with those if you ordered a certain amount each month. But I did not like the subscription service there by mail and all that. You never know if something's going to go wrong with the subscription and stuff like that. Doing an actual local comic book shop is so much better. But yeah, BCW's store folios, they have them in comic book sizes. I believe they have Golden Age and of course they have the modern comic size. But I think they might also have a different size for Golden Age, or maybe everything just kind of fits in the regular comic size. And then they also have the magazine size, which is great. And I guess I was looking up on their, they don't have the store folios for them, but they also have ones that are specific for Time magazine because it's a different size than other magazines. But yeah. Superman Year One. I'm not gonna spoil any more that happens in this issue, but it's bonkers, and I love it. It's awesome. Books I'm not caught up on that I'm looking forward to reading now. Warlord of Mars Attacks. I'm only one issue behind on that. With John Carter of Mars and Deja Thoris doing all their thing against the Martians from Mars Attacks. Although, to be honest, since it's just him on the cover and then the Martians, I'm not sure if Deja Thoris is part of that at all, but at this point. But anyway, Fair Lady, issue number 5. I still haven't even read issue number 1 of this. What am I doing? So far behind. Betty Page, issue number 3. Betty Page Unbound, that is. She's going from dimension to dimension, collecting these things. I can't remember what exactly the things are. In my app, apparently I don't have issue number 2, but I feel like I do have it, and maybe I did read it. But I don't know. I'll have to look through all the boxes and find. I just organize everything. I could have sworn I have issue number 3, but I'll find out. Beneath the Dark Crystal, Jim Henson's Beneath the Dark Crystal, issue number 12. Now I can sit down and read these last 4 issues, I think. It's either 3 or 4 issues. I left off at either 8 or 9. I don't know. Powers of X or 10, issue number 3 of 6. I still haven't started reading these, but at the pace they're coming out every other week for House of 10 and Powers of 10. So I may as well just wait like one more month, basically, or a month and a half, and I'll have all 6 of both things and just read it all at once. But Fearless number 2, we got Storm looking all awesome on the cover. This issue features Captain Marvel, Invisible Woman, Storm, Ms. Marvel, Night Nurse, and X-23. That last one has me very excited for this. And also wondering, is X-23 still coming out? I'm so far behind on it, I haven't noticed when I pick up new issues or not. And if there are still new issues, am I still subscribed to it? I wonder. The questions asked when you subscribe too many comic books. Lucifer issue number 11. This cover is super cool. They're like some characters on a boat, presumably across the river Styx. I'm just making assumptions here, but and then the fire and flames and birds flying around the background. That's really cool. And a strangely, oddly similar cover for Middle West issue number 10. Another book that I'm very far behind on, but I'm really happy to see that it's still going and going strong. It seems like so. They're deep into they hit the double digits. They're not deep into the double digits, but they hit the double digits. And that's super awesome for those creators. Star Wars Adventures issue number 24. We've got BB-8 there, and with what's his name, with some unhappy aliens around him. What is his? Why can't? Is it Cassian? That's not Cassian. Cassian is from. Is it? No, Cassian is the guy from Rogue One, right? Diego Luna plays Cassian, I think. But and also a Tales from Wild Space with a Greedo looking fella. Looks like he's. What is he doing? It looks like he's a rapper in that. I don't know, like a backwards cap and all kinds of jewelry and a suit. I don't know what's going on there. It's just like the smallest picture. And Superior Spider-Man issue number 10. So far behind that, I gotta get caught up. Gotta get caught up on all of these, all of them. Eventually, someday. As I stop subscribing to new comics, as the ones that I read run out, that's the way to catch up. Or just do nothing but read comics for a couple of weeks. So that is it. I'm really excited to read more of this, and this is probably the most that I've read on the day that I got new comics yet. So I am actually, it was the day after, but still, I did it all in one day. And I'm excited to get caught up on some other ones, especially Spider-Gwen. Got to go back, read more, fill in the gaps. But let me know what you thought about all of these comics. And there were a couple of other comics that I was thinking, oh, that'd be cool to pick up. That looks pretty interesting. Like there's one with animals on the cover, I think. I also don't remember at all. But as I have a feeling I'm already getting a bunch this week. It was before I went to get the stuff out of my pull. And it's like, nah, I'll hold off on that. I won't pick up anything new off the shelf. I'll just go with what my subscriptions are. And good thing I did go with that strategy, because there was a lot. It was a lot. But all of it's been great so far. What are you reading on Comixology Unlimited, especially, and DC Universe that you would recommend? Because those are, if I'm going to read extra stuff, other stuff, it's going to be on one of those instead of adding more to what my subscriptions are. So let me know all of that by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. And stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses so that I can see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.